Hello, Theo.
Hello, Soula.
Look, it makes sense. It makes sense. Um,
What's that? What makes sense? I don't think it
everyone,
makes sense.
everyone's heard a lot about you. They don't hear from you really, but you're a big part of pain management, and so I think this is fitting for you to chat with us today or
Sure.
present. So I've drafted some thoughts and questions, but feel free to add and do the thing that we do when we're talking.
Of course.
I better hit the record button.
Yes, that'd be good.
Hi, Theo. There's a pile of info to get through when communicating about pain, and the carer side always just seems to be at the bottom of the pile. So I'm bringing it to the top today. How do you describe chronic pain, Theo?
Um, Chronic pain is actually something I can't describe myself. Rather, it's something I've learned through you suffering chronic pain. To me, the same way I can't describe what it feels like to have a broken bone because I've never broken a bone in my body. I assume it's painful. I assume there's a particular type of pain, but I can't describe that pain. I can describe what it's like to be cut, punctured by a thorn, etc. But chronic pain is something I would describe seeing what you go through as a constant gnawing beast that exists somewhere in your body, if not in multiple places. It's always there. It doesn't hibernate often or often enough, but it also can come out and surprise you in a horrible way. And I think that's how I would describe chronic pain, as something that is constantly living with you and often rears its ugly head when you least want it to. But personally, I don't know. I just go off what I've lived through with you.
Yeah, there definitely is somebody else living with us, that's for sure.
You don't have that personality where you blow up and you get frustrated. I guess maybe we both don't have that. We seem to be able to roll even through the bigger frustrations. We tend to ride them out and we made it. But it's that building and building and building of, I don't know, maybe do we not have time to even think about? You're so busy trying to manage that, all those things that you're missing, you tend not to have time to think of it.
Yeah, we are missing it, but in the same time, I think I'll reflect on this a bit later when we talk about it a bit more. We might not be doing certain things, but we are doing a lot of things.
Yeah, we still manage to achieve.
So it's not as if we're doing nothing. We're just not doing everything we possibly could have.
Yeah.
But I don't dwell on that so much. I just learn to live with the restriction. The same way you can't do over 60 in a 60 zone because you'll get penalized. We know that we can't do certain things in our life together because you will suffer pain. And if you suffer pain, then I have to help you more. And if I have to help you more, that means I can't do other things that I want to do. So the repercussions of doing something that's restricted are not very pleasant.
Yeah. So that's, and we're sort of good at finding things that still make us happy and and still, I think, keep us going. What's one of the most helpful things you've heard from a professional or found in research maybe, or anywhere really, to help you manage being the partner of someone living with ongoing pain?
Can I name the professional?
Yeah, I suppose.
Yeah,
That's a nice thing to say about them.
And Florence Plante gave you a diagnosis. One of the most interesting things she said to me was, let Soula do things that she feels she can do. So when you're living with someone with chronic pain, my experience is that you want to do everything for them because
that's right.
You don't want them to suffer. You don't want them to hurt. You don't want them to endure further pain. But when you say to me, honey, I want to move the saucepan that's not full of water, and then you can fill it for me, I need to let you do that. Then you might say, I want to go for a longer drive. And even though in my head I'm thinking, I don't think that's a very good idea.
I know when the music's up and we get in the mood and we're doing, just go, oh, come on, just a little bit more. Yeah, and I have to go bang.
I have to take your word for it. And I think what I've learned is that when the person with chronic pain says, I want to do this, even if he or she suffers further pain due to that action, it's not as bad as someone else having told them to do something, because they take it upon themselves. Is that right? Is that how you feel? Like, you know, you've made your choice. You wanted to go for the long drive. You wanted to move the pot. And if you say, damn, I'm really sore because of that, at least it's on your head.
Yeah,
and you've got no one else to blame.
Yeah.
So that's one of the most important things I learned through what Anne Florence Plante said. Let Soula do what she wants to do, and she can deal with it afterwards.
That's awesome. You know what? I didn't even remember that.
I remember
living with that, and I didn't even remember that, because she's an amazing professional. She helped us a great deal. There's so much psych that came with that came with Anne Florence. But
but she also helped. But sorry, just I must say again, to use her name again. She didn't. I feel that she didn't only help you; she helped me.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
She's one of the few.
Yeah. But it's true what you were saying. When you suggest that we do something, which is so rare, because you really leave a lot of those activities to me, when you'll say, can we, you know, I don't know, go down and have our fish and chips on the beach today or whatever. It is, if I'm in that moment where I'm not feeling great, it's almost like you've just had this little, an emphasis on the spine or something like that's gone, oh, but that doesn't happen when you make the decisions, when I make the decisions.
Do you want to describe a little bit how you manage living with chronic pain?
The main word that comes to my mind over all these years is restriction. And being able to manage being restricted in what I do and what we do together, and of course what you do as an individual. So the word restriction to me, it hurts a little bit, because there is a list of things that we can no longer do or spontaneously do and will not be able to do. And I need to manage not doing those things. That's the easiest way to move forward. So if I can understand that there are certain things we can't do in our life, I get to live with it in a much easier way.
You don't have that personality where you blow up and you get frustrated. I guess maybe we both don't have that. We seem to be able to roll even through the bigger frustrations. We tend to ride them out and we've made it. But it's that building and building and building of, I don't know, maybe we not have time to even think about. You're so busy trying to manage that, you know, all those things that you're missing, you tend not to have time to think of it.
Yeah, we are.
The carer, the word carer. Is it appropriate? Is there a better descriptor? I mean, we are partners in many, many ways. We obviously were working together, running a company together. We've sort of off and on done that. We've tried to keep, we really stick together anyway. We've realised that if we stick together, we make much more of life, and we manage this chronic pain thing together. But you do care. I mean, you do care. You care. What else can we use?
I think you just touched on that there. See, I think there are certain restrictions in many languages, including the English language, and the word carer and the word care should be somehow separated, because the example I've been giving over the years is, if I was to help someone that I didn't know cross the street for whatever reason, because they needed assistance or they seemed unable to do it on their own, at that point in time, I'm not their carer. I'm not a carer. I'm someone that cares for another human person, another human life. I don't like the word carer. I think the word carer falls more, I appreciate the word carer for people that are carers, professionally paid. I don't like that title bestowed on me. I care about you, but I don't feel like I'm your carer. I know that might not make sense to a lot of people, but I don't like the classification of carer. I'm someone that, I love you first of all, and then of course I care about you as a person and my wife. So the same way I would care for that person that needed help crossing the street, I care for you.
Yeah, but I think maybe the word carer, we've always, in Australia, maybe it's different elsewhere, but we've always associated it more with aged care, or where people have needed maybe I don't know if that's where it comes from, but yeah, there needs to be some other sort of better descriptor.
You've got look, that's your job.
Okay, thanks.
There are many negatives to living, what we've endured, to chronic pain. What are the toughest? And it changes. I know it changes as we go along, but maybe now in this state that we're in, we've just landed again. We're starting. We've just managed to get our life together.
Two things. I'll answer this in two ways. And one, there are negatives, and I'll name the toughest. But two, there's something good that has come out of living with life that's been impacted by pain. So the negative for me is the lack of spontaneity. In my life, before I met you, when we were first together, we were spontaneous. And I mean spontaneous in the most ridiculous sense of walking around the house and tickling your rib and making you jump, which would be disastrous now for your pain, to getting in the car after dinner and driving to the other suburb to get an ice cream. Those spontaneous small things that are so not even thought about by most people is what really annoys me most, that we can't do the simplest things. Again, I go back to that tickle, that physical contact of making each other jump in a nice, spontaneous way. The drive, the getting together with family and friends, we have to plan. And planning starts becoming almost like a job, like a chore. So can we go and see the cousin, the friend, the neighbour this week? No, yes, why? Because we've already got two things planned, three things planned. And I think that's the hardest thing. But there's got to be some good as well. And I think the best thing that chronic pain has done is, after 23 years of marriage, it's kind of proven to me that, for better or worse, you can be, or we can be together, because there's nothing like the world or life throwing something really, really nasty at you to prove that you're okay together.
Yeah.
And it's not about winning or fighting it. It's just throw it at me, yeah, whatever. It's not pleasant, it's dark, it's raining, whatever. The party goes on, life goes on, our marriage goes on. I hope it's for a long time. And I've got my idiosyncrasies that you live with, and you've got your chronic pain that I have to live with, but we beat you.
That is why.
Using the word ever since, I guess, the total life move that we've just had now, and just sort of feel like we're sort of on top of, COVID's, again, it's a bit scary, but I've been using that word fearless a lot more. And yeah, definitely that confidence has been really beautiful, that we can conquer. What would you do tomorrow if I woke up and I had a magic fix and no pain?
That's it. She's cured.
All right. Apart from somersaults, sounds of joy, I think that there still would be something very difficult to deal with here. And again, touching on what Anne Florence Plante said, after 10 plus years of being in this role for you or with you, I would actually need to learn or relearn how to watch you and let you do things that seem so normal and mundane. I can't imagine you lifting something heavy.
Yeah, imagine saying that.
I'll give an example. When I drive alone in the car and I hit a pothole, I don't feel pain, but my immediate thought is, oh my God, if Soula was here, that would hurt. So
Cringe.
I need to unlearn. So apart from the joy, as I said, if you woke up tomorrow, that would be amazing. But I think it would take me months to learn to live with not being there for you. And I like doing things for you, as you know, and you like doing things for me when you can. So you would be taking that away from me in the nicest way.
Oh, no,
And
don't worry. I'll give you plenty to do.
I would need to learn to let go. In all seriousness, I would need to learn to let go. And I think that would be quite hard because I've adapted to this way of life.
Yeah. Whereas
I'd be driven by my body. Like I'd be able to, yes, I've still got those things, but then on the flip side, I've got this, just for example, dropping into a seat. If I could drop into a seat without the cushion, at first it might be, but then I'm going to get it, so that for me, I'm going to have this drive and this, guide helping me, but it's different. I think for you, it's different because you're still looking at me and I still look the same. So,
well, that's the thing. The other thing with your chronic pain, it's not a physical, there's nothing physically different with you. So I can't tell if you're in pain or not. I just believe that you are in pain. So to see you do something that you haven't done for 14 years would shock me.
This is weird. Yeah. Isn't that so weird to say? The thing that obviously you want will just be so weird to manage. We're not the people we could have been.
Mm-hmm.
How often do you think of the mighta, coulda, woulda?
Probably not as often as most people would think, because I always think, what can we do tomorrow, next month, next year, next 10 years?
Yeah.
And I do tend to look forward. When I look back, I see that before your injury, we went to Paris 4 times, we did New York, we've been to Italy, we enjoyed Australia as much as we could. And even with your injury, we were still able to fulfill certain joys of travel.
Within the boundaries that we placed on. Yeah, we did.
So I never think on our restrictive trip to Venice, what more could we have done?
Yeah.
We had a great time.
We managed.
I don't think that when we went to dinner at restaurant X for only an hour and a half, what would it have been like if we were there for 2.5 hours? We enjoyed our meal, we had a glass of wine, we had a wonderful discussion as always, we went home. So I'm not bitter about the past. I'd like the future to be good, to use a simple word, just good, not better, good.
Yeah.
I want the future to be worth it.
We planned Venice because it was on foot and we would get the most out of our couple of weeks, and we didn't look back and say, even though we sat down and we considered so many times, let's catch the fast train, we can be in Paris, we can be here, we can be there, whatever, and it'll be 2 days. We just thought, no, that's moving too quickly, it's going to go bang, we're going to come back, we're going to impact the rest of the time, and so we stayed there. But we don't look back and say, should have gone to, we just lap up Venice and we think about those beautiful days, like every beautiful day.
Okay. So it's obviously and clear that we manage well, but what advice have you got or could you possibly have to other couples, families, friends, housemates that are in a similar position? They're trying to help somebody who lives with or who has ongoing pain.
The main thing is, even if you don't understand it or feel it, believe it. The same way someone that's religious may not understand the how and why, but they believe. You might not be able to see your particular God that you believe in, but you believe it's there. I can't see your pain.
It's real for you, isn't it? It's real for that person.
I don't think that anyone in their right frame of mind would want to be on hard drugs, visit practitioners on a weekly or daily or monthly basis,
operation,
be on the couch, not work, feel terrible about their lives. I don't think anyone would do that, as I said, unless there was something wrong with them in another way mentally. So when someone says to you they're suffering chronic pain, even if you don't see it, even if you can't truly understand it, take their word for it.
Believe it.
Sometimes I'll wake up in the morning and I'll say to you, I didn't sleep well tonight and I feel pretty ordinary. You take my word for it. You don't look at me and say, no, that's not true.
Yeah.
So that would be my advice. Listen to the person with pain. Ask them what you can do, not to completely take over their life, but to assist and to make their life slightly easier, and work with them. Work with them. Work with them.
Work with them. Yeah, you achieve so much more, don't you, working I think that's been a key for us, working together. Apart, we tried it just for such a short time when you had to go and get work or whatever. I mean, it was just awful. I keep joking about you. You know, you could have run a mile a long time ago and I wouldn't have been able to catch you. In fact, you know, we keep on getting over these obstacles, you know. And aside from the support of our families and our friends, what is that key to managing a relationship? You've obviously touched on it through this whole chat, but what's the key to managing a relationship in a life when ongoing illness is present and limiting that life? You know, it's changed that idea of life that you had. What do you do?
I guess chronic pain or not, loss or not, you know, so, you know, families are affected in different ways. They go through different traumas. We're going through our own trauma with your chronic pain. Unfortunately, I can't write the book as to why I'm so happy in my relationship. Because if I could, I wouldn't be doing this interview. I'd be on BBC or CNN talking about my new book and making millions of dollars.
You should write a book.
Or something, isn't it? Our make. What is it? It's our.
I'm saying I don't know. I don't know why it works. I don't know why it works. I don't know what we have. I can't write a book. I can't write a paragraph on it. I know it. I know I'm okay with you. I believe you're okay with me, and that's about it. I know it's very, very boring and not very insightful, but sorry, folks. It can't help.
Yeah, it's
honest and it's so true, because I can't. I mean, I've been writing, you know, blogging and all that sort of, and I really can't either. I think it's some sort of chemistry or I don't know, but we manage it really well. Thank you, Theo.
My pleasure. Hang on a second. Can you just hold there a second?
Sure.
How was that? Do good?
Fantastic.
I hope that helps, guys.
Yeah, hopefully too.
Bye.